Dee Nichols is an arts-based activist and director and principal designer of Civic Creatives, a social design organization, and she's also a featured speaker at an upcoming TEDxGatewayArch event. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Sarah.
So you've been kind of covered nationally, so I don't know if saying you're going to be the featured speaker at a TEDx talk is, we got to put it into perspective, but this is really exciting.
Yeah.
How much can you tell us that you're actually going to talk about at the TEDx?
I can give a teaser that one hint is that I'll be talking about one of the projects that has gone just viral on a national scale, which is the Mirror Casket project. That will be the crux of my talk. And the topic really centers around the art of protest. And that title comes from an article that activist Angela Davis wrote about that particular piece in the Smithsonian magazine after it was collected. And so I'll talk deeply about the nuances of what triggered the creation, the catalyzing moment of that project, of that particular piece, and the people and the stories of everyone who came together to make it happen. And then I'll also detail some other pieces that also fall into that category of art and protest, or as we call it, Artivism.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because whenever people sort of refer to you, there's sort of, I feel like when I was first introduced to you, it was, an artist, but then everyone knows sort of about the activism that you're involved in, and then there's this kind of merged term of artivist. What is an artivist?
Simply put, is artists who are in the social realm working with communities on the ground during moments of high tension and trauma, and really organizing other people to use art as a catalyst for change and for dialogue and narrative shifting. And a lot of our works have really centered upon this notion of how do we dignify our lives through art when society has so many elements that are saying that certain people don't matter, or certain lives are not as worthy of resources or well-being or rights. So we use art in that type of way.
And it's interesting, I feel like currently there's this discussion, if you are in the arts or in the entertainment, there's this idea of like, well, just go do your art thing, right? But somehow that's supposed to be disconnected from everything else that's going on in society. I mean, do you believe as an artist and as an artivist, is that even possible? I mean, can you do your art without...
I've tried. I think for someone like myself who grew up in rural Mississippi in a town that was segregated by a railroad track, I had the framing of racial division and tension since childhood. I saw the differences between what my daily school looked like, because I went to two schools at the same time in grade school because I was tested as a gifted youth and I was Black. And those dichotomies, like those experiences, was a microcosm of what I eventually learned about the world and all of the issues that have transpired and continue to do so. And with finding art as that outlet, as that tool, as my way of navigating society, it's been so hard to disconnect. And in those moments of trying, I always go back towards how does this actually impact or engage with people? And what issues, what norms are we challenging? How are we questioning our existence? How are we envisioning something greater for ourselves and those around us? And so I personally don't see the detachment, and I think more and more there are artists who are finding their voice towards speaking towards these types of issues.
Well, I want to pick back up so people know about the mirrored coffin who have not seen it and don't know what we're talking about. But before we do that, we're going to have some information there on the screen. It's Ripple Effects. It's presented by TEDx Gateway Arch. It's taking place just in a couple weeks on Friday, October 27th at 5 p.m. at the Touhill Performing Arts Center on the campus of University of Missouri St. Louis. For more information, go to TEDxGatewayArch.org. But don't go anywhere. We're going to have more with Dee Nichols. We're going to talk about the mirrored coffin and some other things that she's got going on. So please stay with us right after this break.